What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy King 053, Mr. Easy Imali Ening Nengi, and we're back at it again. Welcome to my channel, King Said So, where we pride ourselves with research and providing receipts with anything that we report to our people. So today I want to speak about something that happened, I think, 2 weeks ago, and it caught my eye because everyone is speaking about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the National Health um, Insurance Bill that was, I don't want to say passed, but that the ANC managed to put ahead on Parliament using their majority of 205 seats to pass this bill so that it can go to the president for it to be signed. National um, Health Insurance Bill. National Health Insurance Bill. That is what we are talking about today, and I just want to break it down for you guys. As you can imagine, a National Health Insurance Bill, it means that everyone will be using private and public hospital as they please. But let's just quickly go on to the content. Let's just download what this means. Let's hear it from the direct source from government, and let's just read to understand so that we can clarify some few things. And I'll just tell you a personal story of myself and how I experience public hospitals, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts if I think this thing is going to work or not. So the NHI bill, the objective of the NHI bill is to provide universal access to quality health care for all South Africans. That is very interesting. Just skip with me to almost the last paragraph there. It says to achieve the progressive realization of the rights, and no one may be refused emergency. The word I'm highlighting there is that no one may be refused emergency medical treatment. You understand? So it says the NHI bill seeks to achieve this by ensuring that no one no one is derived of the above mentioned rights. For me, the above mentioned right is that emergency medical care treatment. It says no one is derived of the above mentioned rights because of the socio-economic status. It says public health funds is created. A public health fund will be created to cover everyone's money. So that is quite interesting. And for me, I was very interested to see that the Freedom Front Plus, the DA, and the EFF voted against this bill to say they don't believe that the our country can produce such a health sector where everyone has got equal access to private and public hospitals. It's crazy. Let's just quickly read there. What does it say about the how this whole thing is going to unfold? It's very interesting. The NHI fund will cover South Africans of all races, rich or poor, and legal long-term residents. So those who are legal and they've got a long-term resident. I don't know why they added that long-term resident nonsense, because if you are legal, then you should have access to this bill. So it says legal and long-term residents. It also says um, there will be one pool of healthcare funding. Do you guys understand that? There will be one pool of healthcare funding for private and public healthcare providers alike. That's crazy. That's beautiful. The cost of the healthcare system, which is currently the most expensive in the world, will be reduced. When people visit healthcare facilities, there will be no fees charged because of the NHI fund. Wow, guys. The NHI will narrow the gap between the rich and the poor. Of course, it will. It says South Africa will no longer be required to contribute directly. South Africans um, will no longer be required to contribute directly to the medical health scheme to get quality health care. The NHI fund will be funded from the general taxes, a contribution of personal earnings above a set amount, a monthly contribution made by the employees to be funded. Okay, so that's very interesting, guys. This NHI National Health Care Insurance Bill, for me, is very interesting. Now, let me tell you a story. I think it was in 2017, there was an issue where my wife had kidney stones. That time I was already in government, but I was still a learner in learnership, but in government. So I did not have medical aid or anything like that. And the queue for the doctors who can operate to remove kidney stones was like, I think, 6 months. So what they will do is put a tube in your private or anus part and try to bend the tubes with a laser and then pull them in that tube. In Northern Cape, in my province, only one hospital has that, and that's the hospital in the Robert Subuku Hospital in Kimberley. So meaning it serves the whole of Northern Cape. Everyone in Northern Cape must be serviced in this one hospital. And when we got there, we found out that that machine that they were operating with was broken and was sent back to Bloemfontein in the Free State for the doctors that side to check it out and see if they can operate. I think it was a competency issue. So what happened is that my wife got worse and worse and worse to the point where she couldn't walk with these kidney stones. That's why when you speak about faith, I know that God is a healer because I've been there. And I decided as a man, because you don't know what to do. You just want to get help for your wife, and I took her to a public hospital, a private hospital, and we found out the operation was like 86,000 at that time, 2017. And I was I was driving a little Ford Ranger at that time, not Ford Ranger, Ford Fiesta, and I decided, no, I'm going to sell my car. My wife can't suffer like this, can't continue like this. I'm going to sell my car. And started praying, started doing our things. And that's where I saw that God is a healer. I'm not doubting. There's people that have faith that God can heal, and there's people that have knowledge that God can heal. I'm one of those people that have knowledge that God can heal. Long story cut short, we never actually had to go to the operation till today, funny enough. And today we've got all the medical aid we can ever need in our life. And we saw people suffer. My wife was going to the hospital even after when she got better, going to the hospital, feeding the friends that she met in that ward, that kidney stone ward, and giving them encouragement, praying for them, and doing all of that stuff. Beautiful scene that I saw there with my wife, and it broke my heart because the doctors don't care, because the doctors are overwhelmed with work, and you can imagine that single machine that they have was broken. So what can they do? So we find ourselves in that situation where I saw the importance of private medical care. I do have it right now, like I said. So this bill will then, for me, it's like, if government is going to pay, and I believe government has that money, I strongly believe the government has got the money to pay for everyone. Just look at these 350s that they are dishing out. Imagine how many millions of rands is it that they are dishing out every week, every month. I mean, there's other funding that the government has. Remember when Tekyo Sekwale came out and talked to and told us, listen, we're talking about trillions of money that are injected into the economy of South Africa that South Africans don't know about. That the Reserve Bank is busy doing sketchy deposit to other small accounts in South Africa. So for me, I believe South Africa has that amount of money to cover, but it's the planning that goes with it. I don't think when you distribute that amount of money, because it will be in the millions, close to the trillions every month. I think it shouldn't be one health minister being in charge of that pool of money. For me, it's a risk. It's going to go into a deep corruption. So I think maybe a board of people, multiple CFOs, maybe three CFOs and things like that. To release money, it must not only be one person, it must be independent and stuff like that, private and public owned program, if I can put it like that. But I think it's a good idea. I know the EFF and the DA and all the other parties voted against it because it's the ANC that's pushing it, because they believe the ANC is pushing a stunt so that people can think that the ANC is for the people. Well, um, I'm not going to argue with that because it's never too late to help the people. So I believe that it's a good initiative from the ANC. And you wouldn't hear me saying that lightly, but it's a good initiative for the ANC. If it's executed properly, I believe honestly that South Africa does have the money to pay for everyone. And when you look at which other countries have that type of medical care, whether being Canada or Cuba and all that, their population is much lower than ours. So it is going to be a little bit sketchy on how to execute it, but it is not in the realms of impossibility. It's not. It just means more hospitals must be built. The government must focus on doing that, breaking it down so that you don't overburden the private hospitals. Anyway, there won't be private hospitals. There will be just one pool, and the government will be helping our grandmothers and our sisters and our brothers with serious operations that must come, that the public hospital is clearly failing to do. The doctors will obviously will have to increase. There are doctors, believe it or not, without any jobs. There are nurses without jobs. So I think that will create some jobs because the need will be that much. So for me, I'm voting for this national health insurance bill. I'm voting for it if it's executed properly. It's your boy King 053. Tell me, what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea that we open? And I think the resistance come from people. Yeah, classism is the norm of society today. When you talk about open for everyone, people are certainly thinking about dirty people, drunk people, poor people, because we are brainwashed to think in a classism way in our society. So for me, I'm always putting myself in the other side of the fence. How would I feel it was if it was me? Understand? So I'm always putting myself in that situation that if it was my grandmother who had a problem with her knee and she needed an operation, or my grandmother had a diabetes problem and I'm unemployed, and the government is going to cover the operation or the medical of that, I'll be happy. But if you are rich, you want a place where you can set an appointment and go and nobody disturbs you. I say, let's try it. I'm saying, let's try it. I know you guys don't want to be disturbed with your class, with your nice cars, with your private GP and all of that. You don't want that. You want to pay for private services. But if the ANC has anything to do about it, that will come to an end very soon. Tell me, guys, what do you think about it? This bill? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think the ANC is genuine in its for this bill, or do you think it's just another election stunt that they're trying to push before the 2024 elections? I would like to hear your thoughts on the comment section. And please, guys, if you're enjoying the content, do subscribe, leave a comment on the comment section, give me a like so that other people can see this content. Until then, until next time, don't forget to pray, and I salute you.